Now we're going to start with a slide, with a photo that isn't going to be a part of our scoring at the end of the meeting. If you're following along on Zoom, you should see our full with title slide, and our YouTube streams will catch up. This is from Bob Bloomberg, who might be dropping by later. He did contribute some photography tonight. This is a happy birthday to Steve Siegel, who isn't with us tonight. He has other plans. I think he mentioned that last week. So we'll show him this slide in January. It'll be after his birthday. But I put it up just in case. That said, we have a new contributor tonight, not a new member. Lee Pratt has shared with us tonight. And the title of the first photo that he's showing us is Special Red Ribbons. And Lee, before you start, I forgot to remind everyone that this is our special subject tonight, and our special subject is nighttime. So these are stereo photos that were taken after dark. And Lee, tell us about what we're seeing here.
Okay, actually, it's just red ribbon. Somehow special got put into the title with it too, I guess, when I was filling out the form or something.
Got it. Red ribbon.
Huntsville, Alabama has a Galaxy of Lights exhibit in November and December in the Botanical Garden area. And you can walk through it or you can drive through it. I've had friends who put up these lights. They spend maybe months getting them ready. They used to be incandescent. Now they're all LED and they blink and do all sorts of things. And this is along the walkway to it, probably 1 or 2 years ago.
Very nice. Did you use any special camera settings?
No, just probably two Canons on a bar.
Yeah, that arch really looks like it's just floating in space.
Yes, it does. And I didn't think anybody had seen these, so at least this one, so I thought it would be a good one to show.
Yeah. And it's seasonal also.
Yes.
Yeah, very nice. Next from Lee, we have Sunset at White Sands.
Okay, that is at White Sands, New Mexico, near oh, what's the towns there? I forget. But it's was a national monument. I think it's now a national park. And it was at sunset. That is probably a yucca plant that I had photographed in the daytime and then waited till the sun went down.
Not a single power line in sight.
No, that's good. I hate power lines.
Yeah, I like how I don't know what the terminology is, the fronds from the yucca plant kind of emulate the rays of the light, that setting sun. And finally from Lee, is Super Trooper.
Okay, this was a carnival that was near one of our stadiums. Comes in and puts on displays with rides and so on. And I took this at night. Uh, Two cameras. I guess I did something to the sky to make it uniform anyway. And of course, it is moving. You can see the closest object is blurry.
Uh, I'm viewing side by side, and I'm getting an off-center split in the left eye. A little bit of the left image is showing up the right image.
Yes, it may.
But I'm loving the synchronized blur.
Was this a handheld shot, Lee?
Yes, it was handheld.
Yeah, I love the light trails. I was disappointed to realize with the little Sonys that I shoot with that they don't have a bulb mode for the shutter. You really can't control the shutter even in its manual settings. The slowest shutter speed is about a quarter of a second. I would have loved to capture something like this with those cameras, set them up on a timer, and keep the shutter open, but just not offered.
I remember John Ballou used to do extended exposures of Ferris wheels and such. They would almost become abstract.
That's right, yeah. They were like light paintings. Yeah, I've seen that technique in internationals occasionally.
So shutter mode bulb would be good for the wish list.
Yes,
Yeah.
we'll add that to the list for our camera on Saturday for our ideal camera. It needs a fully manual shutter. Yes, I like the way you think, Jay. All right. Well, thank you, Lee. It's great to see your photos, and I'm looking forward to seeing more from you.
Well, thank you.
Our next group of photos is from Bob Bloomberg, who is not here. And our last group of photos is from Oleg Vorobyov, who is on his way to Chile. So I'm going to skip through Bob's, and I'm going to talk about mine. And then we'll go through Oleg's, and then maybe Bob will be here, maybe he won't. And we'll just kind of play it by ear. So I'm going to go through the next four and land on image number 9 from our slideshow tonight. And if you're following along on the YouTube streams, these will catch up in, well, I think they've caught up, or they're catching up. Give it 10 seconds or so. This first photo is mine. The title is 120 Sansom, which is where I photographed it. I captured this on Sunday night. I was in the city for Let's Glow SF, and I liked the reflections and the different panes that this composition offered me, and I like the color as well.
Yeah, a lot happening here.
And I was out with my little Sonys, my RX-02s.
clean too.
I will say that I did run this through Photoshop's new AI noise reduction filter. I shot this, well, I forgot my tripod, so I shot this at like a ridiculously high ISO, and this new noise reduction filter, it's in the camera raw filter, and it almost does too good a job. This is almost like too sharp, but it does an incredible job. I ran all of my photos tonight through it. Well, all but one.
I want there to be like, you know, a sticker or a bit of graffiti somewhere.
I should have pressed my face up against the glass or something.
Oh, that'd be good. I don't think I've seen anyone do that actually, to have a face print on a window in 3D.
It would be a pain. It would float in space. It would be
So to
effective.
speak.
Now I'm also looking at this on the Anaglyph stream, and it's 3D, but half of that effect is lost because you lose all the red.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was happy with this one. Thank you. Now our guest Evan is on this meeting, and here he is. Several of us have met him. This is not his first meeting. He's dropped by several times in the past. He works at the Internet Archive, and he invited us to, that was Steamboat Willie for Copyright Day. I forget the exact name of the event, but it was a great event. Melinda was there as well, but she's not here tonight. So, Evan, she'd like to see you too, I know. We ran into each other Sunday night and walked over to 101 California, where this was taken, where one of these Let's Glow SF projections was happening. And I forced him to pose in front of these oversized ornaments. And I was close enough that I was able to get a nice through the window effect with his finger pointing at us. So thank you, Evan, for being a model. I couldn't have done this one without you. And I ran this one through that noise filter too.
Seems to have preserved the sparkly on the ornaments.
Yeah, it didn't do a bad job. Hey, Bob Bloomberg has joined us.
Hey there.
Welcome, Bob.
Yeah, I was busy baking Steve Siegel a cake.
I get
It
it.
just fell. So
Oh, well, we showed you your spooky birthday slide. Unfortunately, Steve isn't here tonight.
I know where he is, probably too. Attending a special screening of Wicked, I'll bet, at the Raffel Theater, which I passed on just to be with you guys.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Bob. We will show Steve the slide next month.
Oh, I sent it to him, so he's seen
Okay.
it.
Okay.
I don't know if he's seen the 3D version, compliments of Immersity, but
Well, we got to enjoy it, so thank you. And we will get to your photo shortly. We haven't looked at them yet.
This is great. Whose is this? This was great.
This is mine, and this is Evan, who is our guest on Zoom tonight. He's familiar with the club. He's been here before, and a very fascinating guy. All right. My next photo is, the title is Pine at Montgomery. And there's not a whole lot going on here, but I did like the streaking effect of the car. And I was just complaining about how my Sonys don't have a bulb setting for the shutter. This is as slow as the shutter operates on those cameras, which is 1/4 of a second.
It's nice.
And I had forgotten my tripod, as I said, so I kind of propped up the camera against a barrier.
Looks good.
Well, thank you. I wish there was somebody standing on that utility hole cover or something. It needs something else in the foreground. Maybe someone shaking their fist at that car.
I think you should animate someone coming out of there like a clown.
Either a tentacle or something. Stereodoro, welcome. All right, and my final photo for our nighttime selection is one that I took with my Extreal Beam Pro. Well, I took with this one a couple months ago, actually, but it is nighttime. This is the marquee for the Roxy Theater in San Francisco, and I liked how it, it kind of has like a graphical look to it. I thought this composition worked well.
So that string of lights really ties the composition together.
Would make some good elements for some creative composition.
Yeah, that's a good point. There is a lot of negative space here. A lot of black. Even a sky would add a lot to this.
Or even photoshopping out like the left or the right sign.
And using it as a part of a
Yeah.
creative composition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I could certainly do something with some other architectural stereo photography. All right. Well, thank you. We are going to go backwards now. I'm going to go back to slide number 5, and we will hear from Bob Bloomberg. So stand by. If you're following along on the YouTube streams, they'll catch up. And the first one, this is the first one, isn't it? Yes. The first image by Bob tonight is, and correct me, I know you will, Bob, if I mispronounce this, Chesky Street After Rain.
Yeah, this is Chesky Krumlov, where the
Chesky.
ISU was held. back two conferences ago. And it's a real fairy tale town. It's an amazing place.
Yeah, the vertical composition really goes with the structures here. And I like you have the street coming out through the window. That's a technique you see a lot in 3D movies. I think it's totally valid for stereo photography also. I'm just too timid to do it myself.
Yeah, I felt it could handle it in this particular instance. It's not that disarming to have it.
Yeah, I think it really works. And next is Christmas in Yountville by Bob.
I like the sparse setting of these decorations. It kind of had a slightly Diane Arbus feel to it to me.
Looks like a hyper. Did you spread the cameras quite a bit?
Yeah, this was actually a cha-cha, and I thought I may have shown it before, an earlier version. I went in and did a lot of Photoshop work on it, got rid of some anomalies, and framed it further out. I think the one that I may have shown before was a tighter crop, but I like all the space around it. Kind of isolates that poor snowman and his buddy.
I appreciate that the tree trimmers kept the lights close to the core of the tree, so that the outer branches are backlit around the edge. It's a nice effect.
Yeah, almost like an umbrella. Yeah, it helps that the Santa and the snowman and the tree are the brightest objects. The darkness around it has a nice framing effect, as you said.
Yeah, I did get rid of, there were, I think there was a number sign on the house that was brightly lit up just to the left of the garage, and I got rid of that.
Yeah, this one works. Was the that blue color, is that something that you manipulated, or was that what you kept?
No, all the colors, I may have done a little saturation on it. I know I did select the snowman was kind of really blown out. So I selected the snowman and did some highlight reduction on that, but the colors are what was there.
All right, thanks, Bob. And this is Hotel Ruse?
Yeah, I think it means rose.
Ah.
And this again is in Chesky, Kromlov. That was actually where we were staying.
Again, great value of the reflective cobblestones.
Yeah, I just love streets after rain. Just very atmospheric.
Gives a lot of detail.
The two people are nicely spaced under the umbrella also.
Yeah, thanks. I did straighten out that left column that was angled in a bit, so I straightened it out.
Yeah, that's a good point about those two figures. They're not merged. You can clearly see they're sharing an umbrella, but they're two separate people. And
Were the people just random, or did you encourage somebody to pose?
No, they were random people. I did cheat a bit. I think I moved them a little bit to the right to frame them.
It totally makes the picture.
Thanks.
yeah, that's where my eye lands. Beautiful.
Thanks.
And finally from Bob, maybe a little less exotic, but plenty of depth, is shopping carts. I'm not sure how long we've been sponsoring these carts.
This was recently at, I think this was Bel Air Shopping Center. I did put in the plug for Golden Gate Stereo Club,
Yeah.
but that was not there.
I don't remember doing that.
I almost put a wanted poster of you on the wall there. It seemed like too much of a negative space, but I showed some restraint.
Is the moon added?
Yeah, I'm afraid. I cannot tell a lie. I left it in because I wanted to see if that's actually the right size for a full moon. Seemed to work for me. It does need a bit of cleaning up, but
It looks a little closer to me than the clouds, which could be a problem.
yeah, I thought it. I don't know. I'm previewing it. It looks like it's behind, but yeah, I could push it back a bit more. I just felt it needed something with that bright plug for the Golden Gate Club on the cart. I wanted something bright in the sky there.
So if you wanted to go crazy with this, Bob, you could make the Golden Gate Stereoscopic Society ad a 3D ad, because you know the Twin Towers is a stereo pair.
That's true.
But of course, we wouldn't expect shoppers to see it that way. So this is more realistic.
Have to hand out Anaglyph passes to all the shoppers.
Yeah. Well, you know, at this point in history, everyone should have their own pair. They should just carry
That's
it with
true.
them, in my opinion. Or, really, what we should be doing is teaching free viewing in school, in kindergarten. Let's change how publishing works. Let's print everything in 3D. That's my dream, at least. Our final, thank you, Bob.
Sure.
Much appreciated. Our final 4 photos tonight are by Oleg, and I'm now going to jump forward to them. As I said, Oleg is on his way to Chile. I think he actually leaves tomorrow, but he had a lot to do today. But he did submit some photos for us to enjoy. So I am jumping forward to number 13. The title is Automobiles Both Caged and Free. And if we have any feedback for him, I I imagine he will be watching our recorded YouTube stream and would love to hear your opinion.
It would.
Go ahead.
It would be nice if the car inside, we could see the whole length of the car.
It looks like he was fighting some fog or haze here. I feel like there's more haze in the right eye than the left eye. And something going on with the pavement on the right, and maybe something's been painted out. I'm not sure.
Is there a loom pad feed tonight as well?
So, yes, with a caveat. In fact, Bob, I was going to ask how you were viewing tonight's show. I'll put the, yeah, actually, now that you mention it, I totally forgot to put the links in the chat. I'll do that now. This includes.
Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go run and get my loom pad.
Okay.
Because I've been
I'm
freedoing.
actually watching it on a loom pad at the same time, but the definition is very low.
Yes.
The maximum I could get is 720p on YouTube before I share the link. So it's very blurry.
So this is, thank you for bringing this up. And this is a known issue. And this happened after a recent update to the LeiaTube app. And what's happening is that the half-width side-by-side live stream is being degraded. It's low resolution. I also see it sometimes seems to be a bit horizontally misaligned. However, the recorded half-width side-by-side live stream on the loom pad through the LeiaTube app will be sharp. And the original, the actual half-width side-by-side live stream, if you're watching on another device, like a 3D TV, will appear sharp too. I have been in communication with Leia's technical support. I've sent them screenshots. They are aware of it. They've assured me they're looking into it. When or if it will be fixed, that I don't know. I don't have an ETA.
Yeah.
And it's a shame because it's the main reason I use my loom pad.
Exactly, me too.
You could try the VRCDN stream instead of YouTube.
Great idea. Thank you, Jay. I will do that.
Yeah, I'm not around tomorrow, but rest of the week, anytime.
Okay. Yeah.
Stereo photos are taken with a special camera.
I'll definitely try that. I'll run some tests.
2.5 apart.
So, Bob, I don't know. Did you follow that?
I'm sorry, I was just bringing in my loom pad here.
Okay.
Well, I just didn't want to mention it in case, it's because I have only a little light to hit up my face to eye tracking. But yeah, it doesn't look like it's eye tracking problem at all.
Yeah, it's a shame. I'm actually watching our Anaglyph stream, which is not my preferred way to view these photos. But
Somebody doing dishes?
at least it's not.
Yeah, really.
I've muted that. At least it's not blurry. So, Bob, if you missed it, be aware that there's an issue with the LeiaTube app.
Yeah, I did hear that. The low res
It's
issue.
low res, yeah.
Okay, well, I'm on the site on my loom pad, and I just hit live for this latest side by side.
I also put I also put the links in the
refresh my memory here. LeiaTube.
It's you'll want to share it with the LeiaTube app, yeah.
Right. It says invalid request.
Oh, I got that the first time, and then I tried it again, and then it got it.
Oh, okay. So I need to go back to HWSBS live stream.
That's it. Yes.
Okay, we'll try it again. And so I have to hit live again. Oops. Okay. And do I have to hit share or just hit the play button here?
I think you have to, do this. Hit play first and then hit share. That's how I do it. I don't actually know if the order matters.
It brings up some options. Okay, here's Leah tube.
Yeah, find the Leah
No,
tube.
I'm still getting invalid requests.
So here's, I think, your situation, and this happened to all of us. This was last month, I think it was. If you don't update the Leia Tube app, then it will give you this error. It won't work at all. If you, after you update the Leia Tube app, it will work, but with this degraded resolution that we've been discussing.
So to upgrade the Leia Tube app.
To upgrade the Leia Tube app, let's see. As I recall, it wasn't in settings. I think it's in the store.
The Leia App Store, yeah. I think when you go to Leia App Store, it tells you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let's see. I've got. Where would the Leia App Store be?
On the home page. You don't have it on.
Oh, back to. Okay, wait a minute.
And you have to click on not games, but besides game on the right, there's games and there's apps. You have to click on apps, and then you'll see.
Okay, wait a minute. I'm just getting a side by side here. Okay. I don't want to hold anybody up here, so.
Well, you're on the right path. You are suffering what we all suffered last month, and it's not intuitive. But yeah, go to the Leia App Store and.
Okay, finding the Leia App Store is the trick here.
Yeah, you'll probably have to look through all of the apps that are installed. It might be something that you moved. It's probably in a folder or something.
All right. Well, I'm not seeing anything and no folders. So
while Bob is doing that, let's move on.
That's okay. I can just preview side by side here.
Yeah. Sorry about the confusion.
No, that's okay.
It's frustrating to me because I love this tablet, but the main thing I use it for, which is these live streams, is not as good as it was. So I really do hope they fix this.
So when I took it on this recent trip to Mexico, and it was great to be able to show people 3D on the pad.
And it's still great for streaming half-width side-by-side YouTube videos that are not being live streamed, that are recorded. So you will be able to go back and watch tonight's slideshow after it's been posted, as YouTube calls it, and it'll be sharp and full resolution and all that. So at least there's that plan B.
That option, yeah.
But yeah, it's a great photo frame. It's a great way to show everyone what you've been talking about all these years.
And I was also impressed with the conversion of the video. I had a couple of my short films converted and did a pretty good job.
Yeah, this is the live conversion on the app on the tablet.
Yeah, I was super impressed with the processing power for one.
I watched Star Wars on it, and
oh, really?
Fun. Now, Immersity, I understand, is now has been for a while now doing video conversions also, and I think their AI model is more sophisticated and more accurate.
I wonder if I used that for one or both of the videos. I'll have to check.
Yeah. Anyway, this is Oleg's Joyeux Noël display at Hamilton Home.
I like the deep view into the window to the tree.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what attracted Oleg to it.
I feel like in the processing, we seem to have lost some of the reflected light on the house. The red cast seems to be a little blotchy. Not sure what's happening there.
I wonder if he might crop this a little more tightly. I like the shape of the door, but I don't really need the car in the driveway, and I don't think that the space to the left of the bush in front of the window adds a lot myself.
The inflatables are a little hot too. Maybe a touch overexposed.
I'm interested in that zombie snowman with the
You have a Jack
skeletal face there.
Yeah, I think that's a Nightmare Before Christmas face.
Yeah, maybe it was a mix between Halloween and Christmas.
Yeah.
No, you've got it all wrong. That's the abominable snowman from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the Rankin Bass stop motion special.
Okay.
Oh.
I know my.
Oh, I'm not that
Rankin
cultivated.
Bass.
That's why I'm not that educated.
Now that would be interesting to see as a 3D conversion. The stop motion Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
I just saw something on the internet today. The original puppets turned up at an auction or something.
What do you know? All right. Well, thank you, Oleg. I'm sure you're seeing this in the future. Our third photo by Oleg is Pedestrian Passage After Sunset.
Yeah, that's nice.
It's a nice, it's slightly hyper, so it's got a good amount of depth.
I like the shadow of the fence posts. It matches with the footpath, sort of segmented perspective.
Oh, that's an interesting point, yeah. He hasn't quite centered the path, which is what I would expect him to do. Particularly that portal between those two columns. I think Oleg calls that his rule of halves. But, and you can see that rule of halves with the horizon being pretty much in the center of the image. But he's playing around with that vertical centering.
I don't know if you've seen Spielberg's latest,
I was just about to say.
The Fablemans.
Yes.
There's a running joke in there about placement of the horizon.
Yeah.
Some advice that John Ford gave him as a young filmmaker. Never place it in the middle.
Right. Well, that's where Oleg's compositional theories conflict His stereo compositional theories conflict with traditional photographic
True.
composition, and it's it's controversial. He's very clear, and he's written about this. The 3D is Different article on our website explains his theories about where to place the horizon, where to place the subject, and how to use color. Yeah, he'd probably get in a long, heated argument with John Ford about placing that horizon.
It'll have to be in the afterlife. So.
Right. He could have, maybe with like an AI.
Yeah.
John Ford.
But, as you say, stereo is a different animal. So we got to cut it a little slack.
Right. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't disagree.
Yeah.
And Oleg's final photo for tonight is spreading oak and full moon at night. And it looks like he used long exposure here with those trails, those red trails. I'm sure his twin Canon rig has no trouble with that long exposure.
I'm most curious about that moon reflection on the inside of the trunk.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure if that's the
pretty
moon
tricky.
Or is it the moon, or is it a light in the scene? Yeah, it's odd.
Well, if it's a light in the scene, it must have been a very specific spotlight, because it's not illuminating anything else except that one little arch there.
Yeah,
That's one of the drones that's flying over New Jersey.
I see. Okay.
I'll have to wait and hear his justifications.
Yeah, we will.
The branches in the upper right are confusing me. Not quite sure what's happening there.
Yeah, they do kind of mass together. They're so dark.
I love the range of color he's getting out of the cityscape. I assume he's doing his color matching there.
Yeah,
it's just that one clump of branches there that's kind of distracting, but the others, I love the silhouette of the rest of the branches against that sky. It's great.
Yeah.
I don't think it's what he was after, but if he had used a flash or even painted those branches with a flashlight, they might reveal the actual shape of the branches, and it would probably be a little less confusing. But it's very lovely. Love those greens. Well, thank you, Oleg. When you see this, and I can't wait to see your photos from your latest excursion to Chile. That is the slideshow for tonight, but we're not done yet. I would like everyone who's able to select their top 3 photos for tonight. I'm going to go through them again, and I'll read the titles. The straw poll can be accessed on your computer from the link, and this QR code is handy if you want to do this on your phone or tablet. This isn't about picking winners or losers, but we are interested in knowing what the most most recognized photo of the evening was. So I'm going to go through the slideshow again. We'll see this slide again in the end if you haven't had a chance to open up the poll, and then we'll spend 1 or 2 minutes making our selections. We're a small group tonight. It's a small slideshow, and it's a small group of participants. So these aren't going to be very scientifically meaningful, but hey, we're all curious. So let's go through these again. The Steve's spooky birthday is not part of the scoring tonight, but thank you, Bob, for sharing it with us. So we'll call our first image Red Ribbons by Lee. Sunset at White Sands by Lee. Super Trooper by Lee. Sesky Street After Rain, or is it Kesky Street After Rain?
Chesky.
Chesky Street
Like
After Rain.
CH.
Like a chest. Like
Mhm.
a chesk. Like a Chesky Street After Rain. Followed by Christmas in Yountville by Bob.
Matt, do
There-
you mind moving your arrow?
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought I cleaned that last one up, but there we go.
Is it gone? Sorry about that.
No,
Yeah, it's fine.
the last one had it in there, and I was thinking, God, I thought I'd cleaned it.
Thanks for letting me know. You know, there's a
Also,
there's
on the YouTube presentation, I had previously commented on an off-center split, and it looks like actually the entire presentation is an off-center split, and I'm not sure how that's happening. I'm seeing
I will
a sliver.
investigate. You know,
Yeah.
that's something that I might have knocked out of alignment when I was planning to do our or do my PowerPoint presentation tonight. It's this whole
Okay.
like broadcasting thing.
Yeah.
So
I'm just seeing a slice of the left eye in each right eye when there's content all the way out to the edge. The side masks images aren't affected.
I'm not seeing it on my tablet, but this could be a situation of like kind of an overscan or something,
Maybe.
where you're seeing it on a TV, but I'm not seeing it on a tablet. So I will
And I
investigate
did
that.
I did update the LeoTube app, and it is now showing on the tablet, but it is not only low res, but I'm getting a side-by-side kind of squished version of the image, and it's not a single 3D for some reason.
If you tap the screen and tap the setting icon in the upper right-hand corner.
Yeah, no, it's spinning right now, so it's not letting me do any actions on the screen.
You might
I can't pinch or tap, but don't worry about it. I'm sure it'll
give it a minute, and if it's still spinning, you'll probably just want to restart your tablet.
Yeah.
And then, if it's still happening, there's a setting you can tell it specifically the video format. It tries to guess, and sometimes it guesses wrong, and it'll do like a 3D conversion of a side by side. So you have
that's what it's doing.
2 converted photos. It's
yeah, it's very
bizarre.
bizarre.
Not the smartest thing. So I think you'll need to adjust that, and you might just need to restart the tablet too.
Okay.
And regarding the cursor on the screen, thank you for reminding me. There is actually a feature in Zoom to keep the cursor hidden, and I must have switched that back on or off or whatever it is. So I've added that to my notes. Make sure that doesn't happen again.
I didn't know you could hide that, so that's a good tip. Thanks.
Yeah, it's actually, I think it's a Windows utility. It's part of the Power Toys utilities, which is something that Microsoft offers. You can download it and install it. So Thank you for bringing that to my attention.
Well, I thought it was mine, so you know.
Sometimes you just can't tell. Maybe it's part of the photo. Maybe it's a retinal rivalry effect or something.
Yeah, you never know.
Right. All right. So I'm going to continue. We are just going through the slideshow before we make our selections in the straw poll. This is Hotel Rosé by Bob. Shopping Carts by Bob. "120 Sansom" by Matt. "Evan at 101 California" by Matt. "Pine at Montgomery" by Matt. "Roxy Theater" by Matt. "Automobiles Both Caged and Free" by Oleg. Joyeux Noel Display at Hamilton Home by Oleg. Pedestrian Passage After Sunset by Oleg. And Spreading Oak and Full Moon at Night by Oleg. That's our group for tonight. That's the first time we've seen it in order tonight. Let's spend a minute or two and make our top 3 selections. I think it'll basically force you to make 3. We'll wait another minute or so before I show the results. While we are waiting, I will announce that, yes, this is the last meeting of 2024, but we will see you in 2025. Our next meeting is Tuesday, January 7th. The special subject for our January 14th meeting will be announced. I have big plans for the special subjects in 2025, and I'll be sending out an email announcing the list and soliciting feedback probably in a week or so. In 2025, I'm going to make the specials more of a challenge and more focused on stereo photography techniques. We'll have a creative, but I really want to focus kind of on the fundamentals in 2025, as you'll see. So stand by for that. Okay, does anyone need any more time to make their selections? Let me set up the results here. In 2025, also, it's our goal to return to ranked choice voting. Basically make these selections a little more scientific. We used to be a very competitive club, and we took the voting very seriously. The straw poll is very convenient, but there's some people have expressed interest in going back to the more more accurate scores, I guess you could say. Okay, I'm sharing the results. Bob, Hotel Ruse was our first selection tonight. Well done. We will call our second selection a tie between Bob's Chesky Street, my 120 Sansom, and my Roxy Theater. Thank you very much. And we'll call our third selection between Lee's Red Ribbons. That's not Special Red Ribbons. I got that title wrong. Lee's Super Trooper and my Evan at 101 California. Thank you, Lee, for sharing those. I can't wait to see more of yours in 2025. And thank you, everyone, for your participation.
Thanks.
Now,
All right.
it's we could call it, it's a holiday meeting, and this is not unexpected. If you're interested, if you'd like to stick around for another 10 or 15 minutes or so, I can attempt to show the presentation that I was going to give regarding our plans for public exhibitions in 2025. And if it crashes my computer, as it might, then we'll just know the meeting is over. Would you like me to give this a try?
Sure.
Let's do it. This is not in 3D. And I'm not going to attempt to live stream it. So to our YouTube participants, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in January. Let me end these broadcasts.
Oh, do people go on YouTube and watch it?
Yeah, and same with